Speakers.
Mr. Speaker.
I call Maggie Berry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to speak to the Insurance Prudential Supervision Amendment Bill. We are, of course, talking about the amendments that came back from the Select Committee. As one of my colleagues across the House said a little earlier, it has been a rare outbreak of consensus in the House, and certainly it was so in the Select Committee. As others have tracked through, we have had the 4 submissions. We heard 2 of them. The Reserve Bank, which is really quite crucially involved with this piece of technical, detailed amendment to legislation, was very much in favour of the main thrust of it. I think that the majority agreement was not hard to reach. I struggle to find anything in the bill that actually caused much in the way of dissent. Not that I'm looking very hard, of course, it's not in my nature to do so, but the amendments proposed in this bill are very minor and technical and have done the job very well. I guess from the point of view of the public, when you look at insurers needing to be licensed and supervised, and taking up the point that the Speaker who just resumed his seat made, there is public disquiet around the regulations and the governing of what people do, particularly, I guess, with the global financial crisis and some of the other challenges that we have withstood as a nation. But insurance is needing to be licensed and supervised by the Reserve Bank, and then complying with prudential requirements is, I think, a very good piece of legislation for these times, and it does need to be done. So the Reserve Bank's role will be to be as both the regulator and the supervisor. Some of the reforms, which are really, I think, really too technical and of not much interest in general to the House, I won't spend any time on. But I guess when I look at the overall thrust of what this piece of legislation is seeking to do, it is entirely consistent with what we seek to do as a government, which is to cut red tape and to reduce unnecessary compliance costs. We try and do that wherever we find it. We hunt it down, we seek it out, and we deal with it as we can. So I think that this bill, which will allow the Reserve Bank to exempt an insurer that's, for example, running off its liabilities from the requirement to have a current financial strength rating, all of these sorts of things, the public can rest easy that they are being well looked after and their needs are being served, and the precautions that need to be taken are being taken, but that we are cutting down the unnecessary red tape. And I think really there's not too much more to be said. I commend the Insurance Prudential Supervision Amendment Bill to the House.
Call Andrew Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to take a call on behalf of New Zealand First on the Insurance Prudential Supervision Amendment Bill and New Zealand